Should you or should you not care about this dunya? You see, on social media, especially in the Islamic community, there's this big notion of not caring too much about this dunya or world. Dunya means world for those who don't know, because it is temporary. As a young man, I want to be successful. I want to achieve something great for myself, for my parents, and for the future. So I'm gonna talk about what I think about this and whether you should think like this or not. So I'll make my argument and my point of contention very clear. I think you should not think like this in the majority of things. So overall, I think you should not think like this. Our graves are the same size. We're gonna die one day, so why even worry too much about it? I think you should think like this to an extent, only to an extent when it gets really extreme. But for the majority, most people won't go that extreme. Most people will probably not go that extreme. So I'm talking about the average person. I'm talking about the normal middle class, low class, upper class person. Should they work hard? Should they worry? Should they take on the stress and lots of it in this world? Because it is temporary. Is it worth it? I think it is. And let me explain why. So, short answer, we're put in this world once. So why not do the best you can? Why not do great for yourself, for your family, for your faith, for your community, and for everyone else around you? Why not work hard and take on the responsibility as a human being, as a man, as a woman, to make the things around you better and just better. Everyone knows hard work pays off in the end. So why wouldn't you do that? Even though you're gonna die one day, why wouldn't you? I mean, think about it like this. Most religions have a sort of philosophy to, as in what happens after death. In Islam, it's okay, your good deeds and your bad deeds get counted, and then God decides if you go to heaven or hell. How easy do you think it is to go to heaven? Everyone knows it's hard. In this world, you have to work hard. You have to work hard to not be a bad person. There's so many distractions and things that can distract you to getting into heaven. For example, someone does something wrong to you, very wrong to you, and you kill them. You're probably going to go to hell, right? You are probably going to go to hell. But if you, in a certain aspect, work hard and resist yourself from doing the sin, then you're probably going to go to heaven. That's still hard work. So hard work is always rewarded by God Himself. Another example, let's say you're a strict Christian and God has told you to not go to parties and get yourself involved in like sinful acts. It's hard work to do that. It's hard work to not go to parties, especially nowadays where it's so easy to do those things. God will reward you for working hard and resisting that temptation. Hard work will always be rewarded. Now, why work hard and make your parents proud? Why work hard and become a better person? Why work hard and help out your community? Why work hard and help out and feed the poor? Why work hard? This world is temporary. So, I think I have made a very clear point. Working hard is one of those things that will reward you in this life and in the next life. Working hard does not just mean materialistic things for yourself. Working hard does not mean completely putting your faith to the side. Working hard means taking on the pressure and the stress to do good in this world and the next. Let me give you an example of the great people in the past who have done this. And this is the reason exactly why I think in this world you should take on a lot of stress. In this world, I think you should work hard as possible. So, in the afterlife, you are rewarded by God. And in the future generations, people will thank you and pray for you for the things that you did for them. Because remember, the lazy and the unambitious will probably not make it to heaven. The lazy and the unambitious people were the people who were too lazy and too unambitious and not able to resist the sins of this world, drugs, alcohol, you can name it. It's the people who are hardworking, who have lines that they will not cross, who say, I will not do that, even though my desires may maybe want me to do that. I will, in a certain aspect, work hard against my own desires and not do that thing to make God happy. Another point I want to make. God has given you 2 hands, 2 feet, legs, a proper working body with literally zero disabilities and 0 errors. You are perfect in a sense. You might not be as strong as you want to be, maybe as wide as you want to be, as I don't know, as muscular as you want to be, whatever it is. To you, you might not be perfect, but technically, you're born with 0 errors, 0 disabilities. You are dealt the perfect card. You're basically perfect. Technically speaking, you are perfect. Think of how big that is. Out of all the things that could have happened, that could have gone wrong, nothing even happened to you. So, you've been dealt a good hand. You've been dealt a perfect hand. So why not take advantage of this and work as hard as possible and show God that you are thankful for Him for giving you such an amazing opportunity and a body like this? Why not work hard with your perfect opportunity to help others and show God the beauty of His creation, right? Why not work hard and help others who might not be as fortunate as you? For example, there's a disabled person. You work hard and you help that disabled person. It's the exact same thing. There's a polar and opposite to everything, right? A lazy and unambitious person would say, don't work hard in this life, or it's temporary. Don't stress too much, it's temporary. But when you're stressing about helping others, and when the ambitious and hardworking person takes on that stress and that hard work, not just for himself but for others, they will always be rewarded in this life and in the next life. So I think anyone watching this video, if you're a Muslim, a Jew, a Christian, or any other faith, I think you should forget this notion of, I don't want to work hard, I don't want to stress too much because, well, this life is temporary, because that's just stupid, to be honest. And then there will be people who will say, well, if you stress too much or you work too hard, you'll sacrifice your religion and your religion for this life. Let me give you examples of people who achieved crazy amazing things while not sacrificing their religion, because they just weren't lazy and unambitious. If you want proof, right now go onto Google and search up the best inventions by Muslims. It will come up with the most craziest inventions that to this day you are using and I am using right now. Modern medicine, universities, algebra, you name it. All of these things were created by noble and very religious Muslims who were very devout in their faith. I'm going to be honest, more than me, and have achieved more than me and many other Muslims. We can say, well, if they've achieved such great achievements, right? But they were also known for their devoutness to their religion, how come they were able to do both? I think purely it comes from their faith and their hard work and ambitiousness. Their faith, they didn't take their faith as an excuse and say, oh, well, I have all these responsibilities, I don't want to work too hard because this life is temporary. They didn't use their faith as an excuse, except they used their faith as an advantage. They said, well, God will reward me for working hard and providing people with medicine, so I'm going to work hard. I'm not going to waste any time, and I'm just going to devote myself to these 2 things, my religion and my craft. And so they were able to create such an invention where hundreds of years later, we as Muslims, Christians, Jews, and all the people around the world are benefiting from their inventions. Guess what? These people, although they considered their afterlife, they were hardworking, and I bet you they had a lot of stress and they worked very hard in this life. I guarantee you they did not say, just because this life's going to end, I'm not going to work hard and become a somebody and achieve great things. So, the moral of this video, you must work hard, even though if this life is temporary. For yourself, for God, for your community, for other people, working hard is non-negotiable. And I want to end this video with saying this is a lesson that I learned. I always thought like, what's the point of worrying so much if you're just going to die one day? You must worry. This life is a test. Life is hard and it's brutal. And the person who is worried but works hard, that's the person who wins. There's a saying, it doesn't come to my mind right now, but what that saying means is the person who is anxious and the person who takes on the responsibility to take on that stress is the person who wins. I forgot the quote itself, but if you're the one who takes on the responsibility and the stress and the hard work, you're the one who's going to benefit and the people around you, and God is going to reward you for that. This world is temporary, but you have to make the most of it. And in reality, you don't have to sacrifice your religion just to achieve great things. I think this is an excuse, and although I'm not saying I'm a person who has achieved amazing things, but this is a lesson that I've learned which has got me to accept that I will never think like this again. This life is just temporary. I don't want to work hard. No, you should think the opposite. This life is temporary. Let me work hard. Let me work so hard that my hard work benefits others even when I'm gone. Thank you for listening.